Hello, welcome. So in this video, we're going to answer one question. How do animals control water and salt concentrations in their bodies? Let's start. Let's start with the question why animals need to control the water and the salt concentrations, the ions, sodium chloride ions. Why do animals need to control that? Because if animals cannot control how much water or salt are in their cells, they can get sick or they can die. So there is a special process in the body of animals that help to make the water level and the salt levels at a normal level, to keep it at a normal level. Also the body temperature, the blood pH, everything to keep at a normal level. And this process is called homeostasis. Okay, to keep our bodies, the inside environment balanced. So let's go to the question. Before we talk about how animals control water and salt or ions, let's talk about this process, osmosis. Now, in osmosis, water molecules move from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration. And the water molecules will move past a membrane, example, the cell membrane, right? This is osmosis. Water molecules moving from low to high concentration area. And this is automatic. Okay, it happens by itself. This is how plants get water from the soil to their roots. This is how your body or your cells get water when you drink, by osmosis. The water moves from low concentration to high concentration. Now that we understand osmosis, let's talk about how animals control water in their bodies. Now, there are two groups of animals. Some animals are called osmoconformers. Osmoconformers. And some animals are osmoregulators. Osmoregulators. Let's talk about the first group here, osmoconformers. How do they control the amount of water and salt in their bodies? First, let's start with these sharks. Sharks are osmoconformers, and sharks live in the sea, which has high concentration of salt, have more salt in the water than in the body of the shark. Example, let's say the seawater has about 35% salt, and the body or the cells of the shark about 20% salt. Think about this. What problems do you think this shark will have? There is more salt in the water than in the body of the shark. So what problems do you think the shark will have? This is the problem. Water will move from the shark's body to the seawater by osmosis. Okay? The water in the body of the shark will move out from low concentration in the body to high concentration in the water, and the shark will die. This is a big problem. So how do the sharks, we can see a picture here, right? The cells will get smaller or shrink by osmosis because water will move out. Next question is this. How do the sharks solve this problem? Have water moving out of the body by osmosis. The sharks are going to increase the amount of salt from 20% to 35% to match the seawater, the amount of water or the concentration of water in the sea. So they will have the same salt concentration. If they have the same salt concentration, this will slow down how much water will move out of the shark's body. So osmoconformers are animals that allow the water and ions in their bodies to match the outside. They always match. If the outside is 35, they will increase their bodies to match 35. If the outside is lower, they will lower their body's concentration to be lower and match. Example of osmoconformers are sharks, jellyfish, starfish, and many more. Now, how do osmoconformers match? What do they do so that they can match? Sharks can eat salt in the sea to increase the salt concentration in their bodies. Jellyfish and starfish, they can produce amino acids that help to match the outside concentration. Hagfish can absorb sodium and chlorine ions from the water around them. Now, what are some advantages of being an osmoconformer? Advantage, right? The advantage is they use less energy because they only have to match the outside. They increase the inside or decrease to match the outside. So this is what a good advantage. They can save energy. They use only little energy. Next, what is the disadvantage? Because they have to increase or decrease the inside environment to match the outside. Sometimes this can affect their cells or the enzymes in the cells, because enzymes have a special concentration that they work. If the concentration is too low or too high, it can affect the enzymes and they cannot work. This is a very big disadvantage for osmoconformers. So the next group of animals we're going to look at are osmoregulators. Osmoregulators do not change the inside environment to match the outside. They are the opposite of osmoconformers. They use energy to actively keep the water and the ion concentration, the salt concentration in their bodies at an optimal level, at a normal level. These are osmoconformers. So example, if the water around this fish is 35% salt and the body of the fish has about 20% salt, osmoregulators will not match the 35. They will keep the salt concentration, the amount of salt, as 20%. Okay, now let's continue. So osmoregulators live in different environments, right? Many animals are osmoregulators, like you, mammal, reptiles, amphibians, fish, and they live in different environments, right? Some live in salt water, some live in fresh water, some live on land. So we're going to look at two examples, fishes that live in salt water and fishes that live in fresh water. How do these osmoregulators control the amount of water and salt in their bodies and in their environments, right? Let's start with the saltwater fish. So tuna is example. We're going to use this tuna, right? Let's say the water around this tuna has 35% salt and the body of the tuna has 20% salt. There is more salt in the water than in the body of the tuna. So again, what problem will this tuna have? This tuna is going to have water from the body moving out by osmosis, and the tuna can die if it doesn't control how much water is going out. So again, this is a big problem. But how does the tuna solve this problem? So let's look at the problems again. Number one, there is more salt outside. So problem number one, water will move from the body of the tuna to the water around it. Number two, salt from the tuna's body, salt from the ocean will move into the tuna's body. Okay, and these are two problems that the tuna has to solve. How does it solve this problem? Number one, they drink water from the ocean. Because too much water is going out of the body, they have to drink more water, okay, to get more water back to the body. Number two, they make concentrated urine. Okay, the urine is very concentrated. They don't have too much water in their urine. They want to keep more water in their bodies. And the third one is because too much salt is moving into the body, they have to remove some of the salts from their gills. They have special cells that help to remove some salt from the gills. So this is what osmoregulators that live in salt water. Okay, now what about osmoregulators that live in fresh water, like a river? So example, this fish has about 20% salt in the body, and the river has less salt, about 10%. 20 in the body, 10% in the water. What problem will this fish have? The problem is water around the fish will move into the body by osmosis, and the fish can die because the cells will get bigger, and the fish will die. Now, how does the fish solve this problem in this environment? Again, there are two problems here. Water will move from the river to the tissues of the fish. Number two, salt from the fish body will move out. Okay, and the solution is that they don't drink water from the river because there's too much water going into their bodies already, so they don't drink water. Number two is they make dilute urine. When they pee, or the urine has a lot of water to remove the extra water. And the last one is the salt. A lot of salt is moving out of the body, right? So we need to get the salt back. And how do they do it? They can absorb more salt from their gills. Okay, they absorb little salt from the river into their gills. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of osmoregulators? First, let's talk about the advantages. The advantage is that the cells and enzymes of osmoregulators can work at the same concentration of water and salt because they don't change the inside environment to match the outside. They can work at the same concentration all the time. This is good for the enzymes, right? They can work at the same level. But what is the disadvantage for osmoregulators? The disadvantage is they use a lot of energy to control their water and the salt concentration in their bodies. So in this video, we have learned about how animals control water and salt. Some animals are osmoconformers. They match their body's water and salt concentration to the outside. And they use less energy. And some animals are osmoregulators. They keep their body's salt and water concentration at an optimal level, at the same level. They do not change to match the outside, but they have to use a lot of energy to do this. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this is helpful.
My pretty girl, I don't know where are you. Oh, pretty girl, you don't know much, I love you. My pretty girl, I don't know where are you. 就算我惹你生气，你都保持微笑。每次笑忘只剩我躺你身上睡着。第一次说想亲你嘴巴，你都 say 好。你说我好聪明，回想那些风景，自愿付出的爱和感情没有公不公平。其实一直对你挂牵，又到了新的夏天。我想让说追你是阻碍的人全都打脸，让其他男孩女孩羡慕嫉妒的看傻眼。啦啦呜，你喜欢的黑色小姐叫做 CPU，wanna call you， 噜噜噜噜噜。我要亲手给你戴上属于你的卡地亚项链，内存饱满，因为全是我们搞坏的视频相片。萌萌的爪子，小小的脚丫，每次都会撞到傻傻的脑瓜，我心疼都说小心一点，好吧。也有冰糖葫芦、冷冷苦香和烤鸭，值得有趣的太多太多，我的身边怎么能少它？想玩拉不动的弓，我帮你扶着吧。想带你继续疯，你还会愿意吗？这经历过的痛，我学着接受它。你说你很脆，迷人的妩媚，我毫无准备，美得我流泪，为人自醉。You're my pretty girl, I don't know where you're from. Oh my goodness, I gotta tell my mom. 你让我等着你，不管时间多长 ，my baby 来。